गंधार्विक गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद विहरी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार अश्रुतलशत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत साई महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार अश्रुतलशत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार अश्रुतलशत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु महाभागवत श्रील गोक्षर बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल्प विश्व शुद्ध सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास गुरुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी शिव और पार्षद वृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी और भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल कोरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री कार्तिक व्रत नियम सेवा की जय। उर्ज व्रत की जय। उर्जेश्वरी रसेश्वरी श्री विश्वभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। जय श्री Oh, today is a very special day. What is it? Shri Gopāṣṭamī Tithi ki jai. Shri Goṣṭhāṣṭamī ki jai. Shri Go Mata ki jai. Jai. Shri uh, all of Krishna's cows, Dhavali, Shamali, uh, Jata, Gavigan ki jai. Jai. Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. Dao Bhaya ki jai. जय श्री धनंजय पंडित की जय। तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। श्री श्रीनिवास आचार्य की जय। तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। जय श्री गदाधर दास ठाकुर की जय। तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। One second, let me share my screen so we can sing this together. Let me make it bigger. Angashamalimachatavirabhito mandikritendavaram jadyam jagudorochishaṁ vidadatam patambarasya shriya vrindaranya vilasinam hridilasar damaviramodaram radhaskandhaniveshito jalabhujam ध्यायेम दामोदरम्। tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamam charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshaya kshiptashtakamadtaranga madhye kripa tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees. Let's see who is here. Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Anadhi Krishna Prabhu, Ganga Mataji, Vidyalala Sidiri, Pramila Didi, I don't know who else is there, Raseshwari Mataji and Indira Mataji, and all the other devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Rose, and Ananda Pradayani. Haribo. I was about to start almost fully on time today. I was only like 2 minutes late, but then the Zoom link wasn't working. And so that took me a while to figure out how to get it to work again. It said the host ended the meeting, and I tried multiple times to get in, it didn't work. And so anyways, I ended up figuring it out, but that's why we're starting a bit late today. Also, just if you aren't already part of, I have a WhatsApp group, the Bhaktivedānta WhatsApp group, and that's where I send the link and tell what we're reading every day. And so then if anything ever goes wrong, then it's in that group that I let everybody know what's happening. So if you'd like to be part of that group, somehow you can let me know. Like if you're watching on YouTube right now and you'd like to be part of that group, just let me know in the comments, and then I'll get you the link for it to join that group. And you could probably find it on my website, Vine of Devotion as well, .com. So my brother arrived at 1:30 in the morning, and I went to sleep at like 2 o'clock. So I'm a bit like spaced out right now, but I just looked at what we did last year. Last year we read from chapter 6 of my Srila Gurudev's book, Kṛṣṇa, Lord of Sweetness. Those are classes that my Gurudev gave in Malaysia in 1998, I think. And so we will read just a little excerpt from that chapter. And then, well, now that we're starting so late, I'm not sure if we'll have time to get through. Last year I read from Śrīla Bhakti-Vallabha Tīrtha Goswami Mahārāja's book, Śrī Caitanya and His Associates, but yeah, I'm not sure if we'll have time to get through that entire book. We'll see. But I mean, well, I didn't mean to say the entire book, you know what I'm thinking. Those 3 sections. Maybe we can check out Visuddha Chaitanya Vani, Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Mahārāja's Katha. Might be a bit more short. Okay, so here are the English classes my Gurudev gave in Malaysia, 1998. So we're not going to read the full chapter, we'll just read excerpts from it. But leaving Gokul and for the forests of Vrindavan. For the last 3 days, I've spoken about Damodar Lila, the pastime of Kṛṣṇa being bound to a grinding mortar. After this pastime, all the Brajvasis became worried as a result of the many disturbances that were occurring in Gokul. Many demons were coming and attacking Kṛṣṇa, wanting to kill him. The Brajvasis considered, "It is better to leave Gokul and go to a pleasant forest, where there's plenty of grass for the cows, plenty of water, a river, and a good forest in which Kṛṣṇa and Balladev can play." Also, we should find a place where there is no disturbance or fear of demons. The forest should be pleasant with cuckoo birds, peacocks, deer, and plenty of grass for the cows. Upananda said, Mahārāja Shandilya Rishi is here. He knows every nook and corner of Vrindavan. I also have some experience, so we can go there. In Vrindavan, Govardhan is so pleasant. There are waterfalls, a river, plenty of grass, the most beautiful Manasi Ganga, and everything needed for Kṛṣṇa to play. Also, there are so many banyan trees, peepal trees, forests of Kadamba and Tamal trees, and many deer, and the water of Yamuna is very lovely. We should go there. Having decided to go to Vrindavan, Nanda Baba had his servants make an announcement on a drum. On a drum, tomorrow, very early in the morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock, all of our cows will be directed toward Vrindavan after crossing the nearby Yamuna River. All our wealth should be taken on bullock carts. The elderly fathers, mothers, and others should sit on those carts, along with all young children. The rest will follow with the cows. All should quick march from here. That was a term I grew to use. Quick march. Wow, I didn't give very much notice, huh? Just one day notice to move everything by bullock cart. The following morning, and it's an entire village, like the entire settlement of Braj. So the following morning, Kṛṣṇa and Baladev sat on a big cart with Mother Rohini and Mother Yashoda. Other children also were with their mothers and elderly persons on bullock carts. The young cowherds marched with the cows. The number of cows was endless, like an ocean. There were streams of black cows and white cows. It was so beautiful. They proceeded for miles and miles in a pleasant way. They made many rafts by tightly binding together the branches of banyan trees, and hundreds and thousands of gopas and gopis crossed on these boats. The bullocks walked across, pulling their carts behind him, and all the cows swam across. Just had a conversation like 2 days ago with Jaiditanya and Srivas about if cows can swim. He said definitely they can swim. Because when I was in Puri, I'd see the water buffaloes. So sometimes they'd get pulled by the Ganga, and I'd see them swim in the Ganga against the current also. But I guess cows can too. Even the little calves happily jumped in with their mothers and crossed the river. It was a very pleasant sight. Everyone took their morning breakfast on the bank of the Yamuna. After resting for some time, they quickly marched toward the village of Chattikara, which is situated on the west side of Vrindavan. Upon reaching there, hundreds of thousands of bullock carts formed in a half-moon shape. Thorny briars, guess that's like, thorny briars were placed outside the carts so that no one could easily enter. They made their huts there, under the bullock carts, and they also made a goshala, a cowshed, outside of the village. As Kṛṣṇa was coming from the bank of the Yamuna on the bullock cart, he asked his mother, "Mother, who is that I see standing and trembling in the distance?" Mother Yashoda, it is a peepal tree, and is always trembling, and its leaves are always dancing. And who is that? And who is that person with such a long black beard? Kṛṣṇa asked. Mother Yashoda replied, "That is not a person, that is a tree, and his name is banyan tree. Look, I see 2 beautiful golden horns jumping here and there. Who is that?" "That is a deer." In this way, Mother Yashoda was teaching Kṛṣṇa. Boys have the tendency to inquire, "What is this? What is that? How did this happen? How did that happen?" So reminding me of Kishore's son, Lakshmikanta. He used to ask like 50 questions every 10 minutes. And so Yashoda was teaching Kṛṣṇa, and he was learning. Eventually, they arrived at their new village. Kṛṣṇa and Baladev Prabhu were very happy to be there. Nearby the Yamuna River and Govardhan Hill, where there were many ponds and a large and pleasant forest, Madhuvan, that had great amounts of honey, great amounts of madhu. Kṛṣṇa began to play there. Krishna's play with the cowherd boys. Kṛṣṇa left Gokul at the age of 3.5 and came to Madhuvan at around the age of 5. Because he took so much butter, ghee, and rabari, and milk sweet rabari, he was sportive and strong in his boyhood. Kṛṣṇa and Baladev used to wrestle and play sportively, jumping here and there and playing with the monkeys. The monkeys would sit on the tree limbs with their tails hanging down, and Kṛṣṇa and Baladev used to easily jump and catch hold of them. Then, when the monkeys would jump from one tree to another, Kṛṣṇa and Baladev would follow, doing the same. Oh my God. Good thing Mother Yashoda didn't see that, because she would have. Sometimes they would play leapfrog, and sometimes they would dance like peacocks. They played in various ways. Kṛṣṇa told his father and mother, "Now that I am strong, I want to take the cows out to graze." Hearing this, Yashoda became worried. She said, "No, no, you are a small boy. You cannot go." "Mother, I should go, because this is our tradition." He was so obstinate. "I must go, mother. I must go." A priest was called, and an auspicious date was decided for his first day of cowherding. That day became known as Gopāṣṭamī, Jai, Gopāṣṭamī Titiki Jai. Nanda Baba, Upananda, and all the superior Gopas decided that because Kṛṣṇa was so small, it would be better for him to go out with other children. Kṛṣṇa and Baladev could go to nearby places and graze small calves, but not the full-grown cows. Kṛṣṇa was happy with this, and Yashoda, after decorating him in an auspicious way, brought him shoes to wear and an umbrella to use when taking the calves out. On an auspicious day, the Brajvasis worshipped Nārāyaṇa, Nrsimhadev, and Shalagram. Yashoda decorated Kṛṣṇa elaborately. She actually never wanted Kṛṣṇa to go cowherding, and so she kept decorating and decorating him. Meanwhile, the auspicious time for setting off was approaching, and the priest who was thinking about the cows he would soon be receiving a donation for his services, wanted Kṛṣṇa to head out. "Quickly, quickly," he told Kṛṣṇa. Yashoda wanted to put the shoes on Kṛṣṇa and Baladev and give them the umbrellas. But Kṛṣṇa told her, "Mother, the cows are our superiors and are worshipful for us. You should try to give each cow an umbrella and 4 shoes. Only then will we accept these things for ourselves." Why did Kṛṣṇa say this? He wanted to touch the earth with his feet so that it would become auspicious. The earth wanted to take Kṛṣṇa's feet on her breasts. The breasts of the earth are everywhere, in the form of mountains. She always wants Kṛṣṇa's lotus feet on her, and that is why Kṛṣṇa never took an umbrella or wore any shoes. After giving many cows in donation, Kṛṣṇa began to move toward the forest with his many calves. The calves were beautiful. Some were small, some bigger, and some bigger still, but all were less than 1 year old. Both the she-calves and he-calves were there. By this time, Kṛṣṇa and Baladev were with their Gopa friends, Sridham, Sudam, Subal, Madhumangal, and so on. And all the Brajvasis came out of the village of Chatikara, Vrindavan, to see them off. Mother Yashoda, however, was not in the mood to give Kṛṣṇa up. Yeah, this is the happiest day ever for Kṛṣṇa, but and Balaram and all the cowherd boys, but for Mother Yashoda, this is the most dreadful, sad day of the year for her. Mother Yashoda, however, was not in the mood to give Kṛṣṇa up. because she wanted to keep Kṛṣṇa forever within her embrace. Oh, because she wanted to keep Kṛṣṇa forever within her embrace, she did not return home. And so Kṛṣṇa told her, "Mother, you should go back." She reluctantly began to return, but when Kṛṣṇa took one or two steps forward, she again wept like a cow for her calf. This happened again and again. At last, Kṛṣṇa told her, "I vow that we will come back. Please return." Hearing this, Yashoda stopped weeping. Nanda Baba and the other Gopas were also following Kṛṣṇa, but Kṛṣṇa stopped them as well. There were many gopis and friends of gopis aged 3, 4, and 5. They were worshipping Kṛṣṇa with crooked glances, and Kṛṣṇa was accepting their worship with his eyes. They wanted to meet with him. They wanted to meet with him. They sat on rooftops and balconies, in doorways and windows. Some came out of their house and stood in the courtyard. Kṛṣṇa was beautifully decorated with a peacock feather, the Kaustubha jewel, and his vamsi, his flute. And there's this very famous verse from Gopal Sahasranam Stotra, verse 28. Kasturi tilakam lalata patale vakshasthale kaustubam nasagre varamuktikam karatale venu kare kankanam sarvange harichandanam sulalitam kante chamukta Gopastri pariveshtito vijayate Gopala chudamani. His forehead is decorated with musk tilak. The Kaustubha jewel rests upon his broad chest, and an exquisite pearl hangs from the tip of his nose. The flute gracefully rests in his lotus hands, and bracelets adorn his wrists. His entire form is anointed with sandalwood paste, and a necklace of pearls graces his attractive neck. All glories to the crest jewel of the Gopas, who is surrounded by all the young Braja Gopis. One jewel, a diamond, was on Kṛṣṇa's nose, glittering brightly. His beautiful earrings were always kissing his cheeks, and his tilak was beautiful. Sandalwood, kumkum, musk, and camphor were on his cheeks in patterns resembling spider webs, making him look very beautiful. The fragrance they gave was cooling. Upon seeing Kṛṣṇa so beautifully decorated, no one wanted to turn back, especially the gopis. But Kṛṣṇa told them repeatedly, "You should now return. I am not going far away. I am very nearby and will return shortly." The Vrajvasis nearly fainted. All stood there weeping. At last, Kṛṣṇa entered the forest and could no longer be seen. They could only see the dust in the sky raised by the calves' hooves. When the dust settled, Nanda Baba, Yashoda, and others somehow returned back. All right. For some days, Kṛṣṇa went to the nearby forest with Baladev and others to take the cows out to graze. And then one day, a very small demon came in the shape of a calf. But I'm not going to read this pastime because we have so much to read about. Now we're going to move on to reading about the disappearance day of these three personalities: Dhananjaya Pandit, Gadādhara dāsa Ṭhākura, and Śrīnivāsācārya. Let's see. I'm just seeing what's on vcvani.com. Śrīnivāsācārya. Let's see, how long is this? Okay, it's not too long. So we'll read about Śrīnivāsācārya from Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Goswāmī Mahārāja, and then we'll read about Dhananjaya Pandit and Gadādhara dāsa Ṭhākura from Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswāmī Mahārāja. I guess we'll just start with Śrīnivāsācārya since we're already here. Okay. So October 29, 2025 is the disappearance day of Śrīla Śrīnivāsācārya. The following is an excerpt from a Bhava Anuvad of the Katha given by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Bharati Gosai Maharaj on May 14, 2014 and May 10th, 2017. There's Śrīnivāsācārya right there. Today is also the appearance day of Śrīnivāsācārya. By worldly considerations, he was born in the Burdhaman district in the village of Chakandi. When his father Chaitanya Das was desirous of a son, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed him. Whatever you have desired, it will be fulfilled. And Śrīnivāsācārya appeared as his son. Śrīnivāsācārya went to Navadip, where he performed Navadip Dham Parikrama under the guidance of Ishan Thakur. However, and I think that's described in Bhakti Ratnakar, right? However, for whichever exalted Vaishnav he desired to meet with, that Vaishnav would have left this world before Śrīnivāsācārya could reach there. At last he was able to meet with Gadādhara Pandit. First, when he went to ask for Śrīmad Bhagavatam, he noticed that the script in the book was fully washed away with Gadādhara Pandit's tears, and hence it was not legible. He went to another place only to discover that the other copy was also in the same condition. So he returned to Puri, but by that time, Gadādhara Pandit too had left his body. Next he approached Abhiram Thakur, who had a whip called the Jai Mangal. Whomever he used to beat with his whip would be blessed with Kṛṣṇa Prem. When he hit Śrīnivāsācārya twice before his wife stopped him, saying, he hit this Abhiram Thakur, he hit Śrīnivāsācārya twice with his Jai Mangal before his wife stopped him, saying, he's just a small child. He won't be able to tolerate so much Kṛṣṇa Prem. Śrīnivāsācārya then went to Vrindavan and studied all the Shastras under the tutelage of Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī. His companions were Narottam and Shyamananda. After the study was completed, Jiva Gosvāmī, on behalf of the Vishva Vaishnav Raj Sabha, awarded the name Ācārya to Śrīnivāsa. Dukhi Kusharas got the name Shyamananda, while Narottam received the name Thakur Mahashaya. So there's Ācārya Thakur and Thakur Mahashaya and Shyamananda. Together, they performed Rajmandal Parikrama while visiting all the pastime places. And that's why you see in the Jaya Nila Premadhana song, it says, Ācārya Thakur. So that Ācārya Thakur is referring to this Śrīnivāsācārya. Oh, and Pramila Didi is asking, what is this lecture about Kṛṣṇa? Like, where was it from? It's from the book Kṛṣṇa, Lord of Sweetness, chapter 6. And yeah, we read it in honor of Gopāṣṭamī. Okay. Later, loading all the Vaishnav literature onto a bullock cart, Jiva Gosvāmī sent all three of them to Bengal to preach and make copies of the books. Śrīnivāsācārya was appointed to be in charge of this. On the way, they would take turns remaining awake at night to guard the literatures. Finally, they reached the Hindu town of Vishnupur, where the king was Virahambir. They presumed that they could relax the vigilance, as they didn't expect any danger from thieves or dacoits. They slept all night, thinking, here the scriptures won't be stolen. But as luck would have it, the king had an astrologer who calculated and said, a priceless treasure is passing through your kingdom. So the king sent some thieves to loot the treasure, but warned against killing anyone. Observing all three sound asleep, the thieves took away the box of scriptures without any ado. But later, when they opened the box, they discovered only scriptures. Unsure if these scriptures could be of any use to them, the king kept them aside. When Narottam, Shyamananda, and Śrīnivāsa woke up, they realized that the books had been stolen. Grief-stricken, Śrīnivāsācārya felt great repentance, thinking, "My Guru Varga dispatched me with this responsibility, and I let him down by sleeping out of laziness." Śrīnivāsācārya was actually Gopal Bhatta Goswami's disciple, but since he had studied the Shastras under the guidance of Jiva Goswami, he considered Jiva Goswami to be his guru as well. He resolved, "I will not leave this place unless the stolen scriptures are recovered. It will certainly be good if I find the scriptures. Otherwise, I will simply leave my body in this very place." He decided to remain there while instructing Narottam and Shyamananda, "Preach whatever you have learned through the medium of kirtan." Yeah, because I guess he was the most senior out of the three. Or actually, I think so. Because he associated with Mahaprabhu's direct associates. Narottam Thakur and both Śrīla Narottam dāsa Ṭhākura wrote two songs of separation, Gauranga Sahachar and Jayanila Premadhana. And in both of those songs, he glorifies Śrīnivāsācārya as being the one who is an associate of the associates of Mahaprabhu, who engage in pastimes with the associates of Mahaprabhu. So Narottam Thakur preached in North Bengal. He would sing in the Garanhati melody, and Shyamananda preached in South Bengal and Orissa in the Renati melody, while Śrīnivāsācārya remained in Vishnupur. He also preached via kirtan using the Manohar Shahi melody. All three of them preached in different melodies. I don't think melody is the right word. It means styles of kirtan, because they're unique, rhythms and also their style of singing, but then also their style of mridanga and all the instruments, everything. Śrīnivāsācārya was preaching in Vishnupur. Every day in the sabha, there was a recitation of Bhagavat. As long as he was hearing the Bhagavat, he would cry, thinking, "Although my Guru Varga entrusted these books to me, they got stolen." Upon hearing the Harikatha of Śrīnivāsācārya, King Virahamvir became his disciple. Observing that whenever Śrīnivāsācārya used to start speaking katha, he would burst into tears, the king asked him, "Guruji, why do you cry?" Śrīnivāsācārya replied, "I'm so unfortunate that my Guru Varga entrusted the responsibility of the invaluable books they had written upon me, but the books got stolen." Hearing this, Virahamvir brought the box and opened it to show the books. Seeing them intact, Śrīnivāsācārya felt a wave of relief, and immediately he sent word to Vrindavan with the news about the recovery of the books. Earlier, Srila Kaviraj Goswami had become worried, thinking that the Chaitanya Charitamrita book had disappeared from this world, but got pacified when his servant informed him that he made a copy of it before dispatching the original. In the meantime, he heard that Śrīnivāsācārya had recovered all the scriptures and became happy. My God, the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, could you imagine how, can't even imagine, my God. Okay, Śrīnivāsācārya established the Madan Mohan deity, and it still remains there. When the kingdom was attacked, Madan Mohan blew the enemy away with a cannon, named the Dal Mandal. Even now, people go there to see that cannon. Yeah, and I've seen lots of old paintings of that. We could find it really quickly on there. Let's see. Madan Mohan cannon. Let's see if that brings up anything. There it is. There's the Dal Mandal cannon on Wikipedia. It has a Wikipedia page. Let's just check this out really quickly. There's the historic Dal Mandal cannon. Wow, so you can check this out on Wikipedia. let's see. I'm just going to see the art. We don't have time to read all of that. Anyways, I've seen art of this before. Art. Anyways, doesn't matter. Pretty neat though, huh? Okay. From Śrīnivāsācārya's disciplic succession came the pujaris of Gopinath, Madan Mohan, Govinda, Damodar, and all other deities also. Wow, I didn't know that. So all the pujaris for those vigars were all disciples of Śrīnivāsācārya. That is why even today in Jaipur, you will observe that all pujaris are Gaudiya. This is all due to the mercy of Śrīnivāsācārya. Even the pujaris of Madan Mohan and Karoli are Gaudiyas, and the root of this is Śrīnivāsa Ācārya. The Śrāda Gosvāmī Ashtakam was composed by Śrīnivāsācārya. He has brilliantly described the life history of the Goswamis in this Ashtakam, describing how they spent their days and so on. Krishnot kirtana gana nartana paro premamritampo nidhi. Later in the Ashtakam, he also mentions how the Goswamis wandered around Vraj, experiencing the pains of separation. He Radhe Vrajadevi ke chalalite, he Nanda suno kuta. Crying out to Srimati Radharani, saying, Hey Radhe Vrajadevi ke, oh, where are you? Are you in the forest on the banks of the Yamuna? Are you near Radhakund? Where can I find you? Like this, they searched in a mood of Mahavival. Everything has been revealed in this Ashtakam. So today is a good day to sing the Śrāda Gosvāmī Ashtakam. All right, so that is our reading for Śrīnivāsa Ācārya. And now we will read about Gadādhara dāsa and Dhananjaya Pandit. One second, let me just... I have the Kindle version. Last night, I met somebody in the market, and he said, "Thank you so much for recommending this Caitanya and His Associates to me. I use it all the time." Well, he didn't say all of that, but yeah, he's mentioning that he bought this. You can get it on the Kindle store, Amazon Kindle store, and there's a new revised edition. You can also find it on bbtirtha.org. All right, so let me just make the text bigger. Who should we read about first? Let's read about, I don't know, I'll just see whose name I find first. Okay, there's Dhananjaya Pandit. So I guess we'll read about him first, and then next we'll read about Gadādhara dāsa. Śrīla Dhanañjaya Pandit. Oh, and Pramila Didi? No, I said Kṛṣṇa, Lord of Sweetness. It's Gurudev's classes in 1998 in Malaysia. Kṛṣṇa, Lord of Sweetness. That's the name of the book. Okay. Śrīla Dhanañjaya Pandit. Oh, and Haribol Chatamai Mataji. Sorry, I didn't see you before. And Raseshwari Mataji. Okay. Dhananjaya Pandit. Vasudama Sakayascha Pandita Śrī Dhanañjaya. Actually, let me make it a little bit bigger. There. The cowherd Vasudama became Dhananjaya Pandit in Gaur Lila. That's in Gaur Ganadashtipika 127. Okay, so he's a cowherd Vasudama. Dhananjaya Pandit, the dear associate of Lord Nityananda, was previously Vasudam, one among the 12 bosom friends of Lord Baladev. And now this is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 11, says, Dhananjaya Pandit was Nityananda Prabhu's dear servant. He was very renounced and full of love for Kṛṣṇa. Opinions vary about Dhananjaya Pandit's birthplace and his parentage. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan, it is said that he was born in the village of Jhargram in the Chittagong district. He was born on the 5th day of the waxing moon in the month of Chaitra. That's 1484 AD. His father's name was Shripati Bandhopadhyaya, and his mother's was Kalindi Devi. His wife was Haripriya. In the book Gauranga Madhuri, another version is given. It says, he was born in the village of Sian Muluk, near Bolpur, in the Birbhum district. His father's name was Adidev Vachaspati, and his mother's name was Dayamai Devi. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Ṭhākura subscribes to the former view in his Anubhashya. Dhananjaya Pandit's primary home was in the village of Shitalgram, which is served by the Kaichar post office in the precinct of Mangal Kot in the Burdwan district. Shitalgram is about 1 mile northeast of Kaichar railway station, which is 9 miles from the Katwa railway station. I love how Srila Bhakti Ballabha Goswami Maharaj always gives instructions how to get there to all these different Shripats. He is also said to have had homes in the Sanchara Panchara and Jalandi villages. The first of these villages lies 2 miles south of Satdeola Tejpur, which is 4 miles from the Memari train station. Jalandi is about 10 miles east of the city of Burdwan and is served by the Lokanagar post office. Also found in this village is the home of Sanjay Pandit, who is said by some to have been Dhananjaya's brother, and by others his disciple. Dhananjaya had no offspring. Those who supervise the Shitalgram temple are descendants of his disciples. Both the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan and the Gauranga Madhuri agree that Dhananjaya Pandit was married and that his wife's name was Haripriya. It is also mentioned that he would prostrate himself in obeisances before Tulsi Devi 3 times a day. He was married, that's neat, 3 times a day he would offer obeisances to Tulsi Devi. He was married when very young, but this did not stop him from leaving on a pilgrimage shortly after his wedding. His wealthy father gave him money for traveling expenses, but Dhananjaya gave it all to Mahaprabhu and carried only a begging bowl. This particular action has been recalled by the author of the Vaishnava Bandhana. This is written by Devaki Nandan Das, who is Gopal Chapal. You know the song Vrindavana Vasi Jata, Vaishnava Ergan, that we sing every morning? So that's actually, there are 5 parts to that song. And it goes through 200 something associates of Mahaprabhu. So this is that song. Vilasi Vairagi Vando Pandit Dhananjaya Sarvasva Prabhure Diya Bhanda Hate Loy. Dhananjaya's main home, or Shripat, was in Shitalgram. The deities of Gopinath, Nitai Gauranga, and Damodar worshipped by him are still being served there. These deities are brought into a field not far away from the temple where the Disappearance Day festival is held annually in the middle of Magh. Dhananjaya Pandit participated for a few days with Mahaprabhu and his Sankirtan pastimes in Navadvip. From there, he returned to Shitalgram, whence he went on a pilgrimage to Vrindavan. Before traveling to Vrindavan, he stayed for a few days in Sanchara Panchara, leaving a disciple who was traveling with him in charge of the deity's service. At present, there is no further sign of this temple in Sanchara Panchara. Nityananda Prabhu delivered the most fallen and crushed the atheistic. These powers were manifest in his dear devotee Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya Pandit converted many robbers and atheists in the Shitalgram area. Here's a quote from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, chapter 5. Dhananjaya Pandit was an extraordinarily great Vaishnava. Nityananda Prabhu took a permanent residence in his heart. As one enters the Shitalgram temple, A small Tulsi altar stands on the left. This is the site of Dhananjaya Pandit's Samadhi. His disappearance day is the Kṛṣṇa of Kartik month, which is today. Okay, so now we will read about Gadādhara dāsa Ṭhākura and then we'll end our program for today. Let's see. Did I skip him? Oh. Okay, let me just type in search. I think Śrīla Śrīla Gosvāmī also writes about Gadādhara dāsa Ṭhākura. He's the halo of Śrīmati Radhika. Gadādhara dāsa. There he is. Number 34. Oh, and I see we only have 5 minutes to read. Let's see how, I don't know how long. It says there's 9 minutes left in this chapter. Man, today was not a good day to start 15 minutes late. Anyhow, I think I'm gonna just go overtime today. So yeah, for those of you watching on Zoom, you can watch this later on YouTube if you need to go. Radha Vibhuti. So now Śrīla Bhakti Ballabha Maharaj. Oh wait, we were also Radha Vibhuti Rupaya Chandrakanti Purastita Satya Goranga Nikate Dasavangsho Gadādhara Purnananda Vraje Yasir Baladeva Priyagrani Sapikarya Vashad Eva Pravishat Tam Gadādharam. So this is Gorgana Rishtavika 154 to 155. She who, during Krishna's avatar, was Chandrakanti, the manifestation of Radharani's ornaments, has become Gadādhara dāsa by Gauranga's side. Balaram's beloved Purnananda has also entered into him for some special purpose. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada has commented on Gadādhara Dasa's identity in Krishna Lila. He is Śrīmati Radharani's effulgence. Just as Srila Gadādhara Pandit Goswami is Śrīmati Radharani herself, so Gadādhara dāsa is an avatar of her bodily luster. In the Lord's avatar as Krishna, with the emotions and bodily luster of Śrīmati Radharani, he is that bodily luster. In the Gaur Ganadashtipika, he is said to be the manifestation of Radha's opulence. He is counted amongst the followers of both Gaur and Nityananda Prabhu. The followers of Gaur relish the mood of conjugal love, while the followers of Nityananda Prabhu are in the mood of pure devotional service and friendship. Although Gadādhara dāsa was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu, he was not in the mood of friendship as a cowherd boy, but is in the conjugal mood. He established the temple of Gauranga in Katwa. So all that was from the Anubhashya, Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's Anubhashya to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 10, verse 53. Gadādhara Dasa's home was in Eriyadaha, a village situated 8 miles north of Kolkata on the banks of the Bhagirathi River. After Mahaprabhu's disappearance, he moved from Navadvip to Katwa, and then later to Eriyadaha. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan, it is said that Gadādhara dāsa supervised Sachimata and Vishnupriya Devi's affairs. When they disappeared, he moved to Katwa, where he established the worship of the Gauranga deity. The temple is currently known in Katwa as Mahaprabhu Badi. Gadādhara dāsa met with Mahaprabhu when the Lord was making his initial attempt to travel to Vrindavan by taking the route through Bengal, first stopping in Shantipur, then Kumarhatta, and then Raghava Pandit's house in Panihati. Mahaprabhu affectionately placed his lotus feet on Gadādhara Dasa's head. And here's a quote from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda chapter 5. That chapter, Antyakanda chapter 5 in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it's just the most delightful, fun chapter. Oh my God. When it's describing what Nityananda Prabhu and his associates, the Dwadash Gopalas, all the crazy things they do. They'd be like uprooting trees and jumping from rooftops and yeah, it's very wild. So when Gadādhara dāsa heard that Mahaprabhu had arrived at Raghav Pandit's house, he ran to see him. Gadādhara dāsa is extremely dear to Mahaprabhu. His body is charged with the joy of devotion. When the Lord saw the pious Gadādhara, he lifted his feet and placed them on his head. We had a special program in this month of Kartik for the day that Mahaprabhu entered Panihati, but we didn't read this detail. So anyways, now I know for next year. When Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu from Puri to Bengal to distribute divine love, Gadādhara dāsa, Ram dāsa, Krishna das Pandit, Parameshwari das, Purandar Pandit, Raghunath Vaidya, and others accompanied him. On the road from Nilachal, Nityananda Prabhu and his associates made various extraordinary displays of divine love. Gadādhara dāsa, the eternal resident of Raj, took on the transcendental mood of Srimati Radharani, and in the ecstasy of a cowherd girl, began to laugh and shout, "Yogurt for sale! Yogurt for sale! Does anyone want to buy some yogurt?" In the mood of a cowherd boy, Abhiram Das Thakur stood for 9 hours in the threefold bending form. Krishnadas and Parameshwari Das also took the mood of cowherd boys, shouting "Hoi hoi!" as though they were herding the cattle. Purandar Pandit climbed up a tree and shouted, "I am Angada!" and then jumped down to the ground. The mood of Radhika descended on Gadādhara dāsa. He began to call, "Who will buy yogurt?" and burst out laughing. Krishnadas and Parameshwari Das both shouted "Hoi hoi" in the spirit of the cowherd boys. I just repeat that twice. Anyways, that's from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda chapter 5, verses 238 and 240. I think it's so interesting how Gadādhara dāsa would just, in the mood of Radharani, would be running around with Nityananda Prabhu and the Dwadash Gopals. We're all in the mood of cowherd boys. When Nityananda Prabhu arrived in Bengal, he visited villages on both banks of the Ganga. Gadādhara dāsa was experiencing Gopi Bhav and took a jug full of Ganga water and called out to everyone, "Milk! Who wants to buy milk?" When Nityananda Prabhu saw Gadādhara dāsa's bhav, he took the Gopal deity from his house and danced, holding the deity to his chest. Now this is from that same chapter 5 of Antyakanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat, verse 381. In the mood of a gopi, Gadādhara dāsa had no consciousness of external reality. He constantly referred to himself as a gopi. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Gosvāmī Thakur writes in his commentary to this verse that though Gadādhara dāsa considered himself to be a gopi, he did not dress like a woman. His mood was expressed internally, and he did not make any artificial external display. One day, Nityananda Prabhu was in the audience at a performance of Krishna's Dan Kandalila by Madhavananda Ghosh at the house of Gadādhara dāsa, and went into a deep trance. For this reason, Gadādhara's house is also known as a place of the Dan Lila. The Dan Lila is described elaborately in Rupa Goswami's Dan Keli Kaumudi. In Gadādhara dāsa's village of Eriyadaha, there was a very powerful Kaji, antagonistic to religion, who hated the very sound of the congregational chanting of Krishna's names. One day, Gadādhara dāsa was in an ecstatic mood and walked right into the house of this Kaji, singing the holy names at the top of his voice. The Kaji was standing there in the company of his inner circle. Oh yeah, this is so great. Yeah, this is so funny. Okay, so the Kaji, who everybody was absolutely terrified, he'd have Hindus killed, and like he was the most dangerous, scary person there is. And so Gadādhara Das, he just walked right into the house of this Kaji, who everybody feared, and he was singing the holy names at the top of his voice. The Kaji was sitting there in the company of his inner circle. Gadādhara Das ordered him to chant the holy names. The Kaji became very angry at the affront, but when he saw that Gadādhara Das was in a trance-like state, he calmed down and asked him why he had come. Gadādhara Das answered, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu have descended to this earth to make everyone chant the holy names. Only you have not yet done so. So I have come here to make you chant the name of Kṛṣṇa. If you chant the holy names, all your sins will be eradicated. Although the Kaji was by nature cruel, he laughed and said, All right, I will chant Krishna's name tomorrow. Now go home. Gadādhara Das danced jubilantly and said, Why tomorrow? You have just uttered the name of Krishna now. Now that you have taken the name of Hari, you will never again know any inauspiciousness. So that's all from that same chapter 5 of Antya Khanda. Gadādhara Das thus converted I don't know this word, irascible Kaji through his divine power. This impossible task became possible because his body had become possessed by Kṛṣṇa. And now here's also from that same chapter, verse 413. This is the glory of Gadādhara Das, who has been counted as one of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intimate associates. Just seeing him, who is constantly in an ecstatic devotional mood, erases all of one's sinful reactions. Can I just, I just really, I just want to look at that part in Chaitanya Bhagavat really quickly, because it is, I have a memory of Gadādhara saying like, I will chop up your head, like saying something really extreme. I just want to see it. Where is it? Antya Khanda. I thought I put the Antya Khanda in sections. Oh, CB chapters, there it is. Antya Khanda, chapter 5, there it is. Okay, so it's verse 4, what is it? 409, I think. Let's just see really quickly. 409. Okay, yeah, so let's just see this. Okay. So in this way, Nityananda stayed a few days in the house of Gadādhara Das, absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love. Gadādhara Das did not display external consciousness. He would always induce everyone to chant Hari Bol. There was a most sinful Kazi living in that village. He strongly opposed the performance of kirtan. Gadādhara Das Mahāshaya was always intoxicated with transcendental ecstasy. One night, he went to the house of that Kaji, who was very against kirtan. Although people generally ran away in fear of that Kaji, Gadādhara Das fearlessly went at night to his house. Gadādhara Das continually chanted the name of Hari as he entered the Kazi's house. The Kazi's servants sat down speechless as they watched Gadādhara enter. Like, do you know who you're... They're speechless. Gadādhara Das said, Where is that fellow Kaji? Quickly, chant the name of Kṛṣṇa, or I will sever your head. Chindon Tora Mata, I will cut off your head. Quickly. Then the Kazi was as angry as fire, and he came out of the room. But on seeing Gadādhara Das, he became pacified. The Kaji said, Gadādhara, why are you here? Gadādhara replied, I have something to say. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu have incarnated in this world to induce everyone to chant the name of Hari. You alone have not chanted the name of Hari. Therefore, I have come to your house to make you chant. Just chant the most auspicious name of Hari, and I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Although the Qazi was most envious by nature, he was stunned and could not say anything. The Qazi then smiled and said, Listen, Gadādhara dāsa, you go home now. I will chant the name of Hari tomorrow. As soon as Gadādhara dāsa heard the name of Hari come from the Qazi's mouth, he became filled with ecstatic jubilation. Gadādhara dāsa then said, Why tomorrow? You just now uttered the name Hari, the name of Hari. Since you have uttered the name of Hari, all your inauspiciousness has been immediately vanquished. After speaking these words, Gadādhara dāsa clasped his hands and danced wildly. He danced wildly intoxicated with ecstasy. After some time, Gadādhara dāsa returned to his house. Nityananda always resided in his body. Such are the glories of Gadādhara dāsa, who is counted among the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Saintly persons did not want to be touched by the air that touched the Qazi, for they felt that such contact would make them lose their caste. Yet Gadādhara dāsa Mahārāja glanced mercifully on that most sinful Qazi, who took away the caste of any sadhu he encountered. When such a person gives up his envious nature, it is understood that this is the potency of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. This is Kṛṣṇa avashar karma. Fire, snakes, and tigers cannot harm a person who is truly absorbed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And out of his causeless mercy, Lord Nityananda freely distributed to his dear associates the love for Kṛṣṇa as desired by personalities like Brahma and the attachment to Kṛṣṇa displayed by the gopis. I'll just read this and then we'll end. Oh, brothers, just worship the lotus feet of Nityananda, by whose mercy one can attain the shelter of Lord Chaitanya. Right. I just love that. He's like, I will chop off your head. He's saying that about the Qazi who everybody was afraid of, that Qazi who hated Sankirtan. And all his associates are just dumbstruck. What? What are you doing? You're gonna get yourself killed. But then that's the potency of Gadādhara dāsa. How could the Qazi seeing Gadādhara dāsa be angry? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has also written the following about Gadādhara dāsa in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Śrī Ramdas and Śrī Gadādhara dāsa were both devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and stayed with him. When the Lord ordered Nityananda Prabhu to return to Bengal, he told both of them to accompany him. Gadādhara dāsa was always in an ecstatic state and the devotional mood of a gopi. Nityananda Prabhu put on the Dan Lila performance in his house. That's from chapter 11 of Adi Lila. Gadādhara dāsa was also present when Raghunath Das Goswami put on the yogurt and chipped rice festival in Panihati on Nityananda Prabhu's order. Yadunandan Das was Gadādhara Dasa's disciple. This is stated in the Bhakti Ratnakar. And I think there is kirtans written by Yadunandan. Yadunandan Chakravarti was a very learned scholar whose guru and worshipable lord was Gadādhara dāsa. It's Bhakti Ratnakar 9.352. Yeah, I've seen kirtans by him, Yadunandan. Gadādhara dāsa's disappearance day is on the 8th day of the waning moon, the Kṛṣṇa of the month of Kartik. Śrīnivāsācārya put on a huge festival on the occasion of Gadādhara dāsa's disappearance day, in which many exalted Vaishnavas participated. Like the one at Kaitari, this festival was greatly renowned throughout the Vaishnav community. Wow! So Śrīnivāsācārya had a special connection, special feelings for Gadādhara dāsa, put on a big festival on this day, and so then I guess he chose this festival for himself to enter into samadhi. This is from Bhakti Ratnakar 9.362. What can I say about Kartik Kṛṣṇa Ashtami? My Prabhu disappeared here on that day. Gadādhara dāsa's samadhi tomb is situated on the grounds of the Mahaprabhu Body Temple in Katwa, close to Keshav Bharati's samadhi tomb. Jai Shri Gadādhara dāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai. All right, that's our reading for today. Oh, and Haribol Lola Mataji. All right, so I'll just do short Mahamantra and we'll end for today. And I'll say Jaidvani and end the program. And then if anybody wants to stay a bit longer, I'll recite Damodara Ashtakam, because I know some people like to, do Damodara Ashtakam on this program. So, and maybe we could also look at, maybe we should sing Jaya Nila Premadhana also, because that was written about Śrīnivāsācārya. And there's another song written by him. I don't think we'll read the other song, but maybe we could look at a couple verses of it. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhaktivedānta Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai. All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, and disciples of those associates ki Jai. Jai Shri Swapashaji Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrindadevi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai, Jai Shri Gopāṣṭamī Goṣṭhāṣṭamī Titi ki Jai, Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai, all of Krishna's sakhas ki Jai, all Sarva Vrajavasi Gana ki Jai, all of Krishna's cows ki Jai. Today is a perfect day to sing the Keshavashtakam, but I'm not going to sing it, it's too late. But maybe let's sing one verse from it. We'll sing one verse from Keshavashtakam. Jai Shri Śrīnivāsācārya ki Jai, Todiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai, Śrīla Dhanañjaya Paṇḍita ki Jai, Todiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai, Śrī Gadādhara dāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai, Todiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Shri Kartik Vrat Niyam Seva ki Jai, Urja Vrat ki Jai, Urjeshwari Raseshwari Shri Vishwabananandini Shrimati Radha Ṭhākurani ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams. Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatharini Mataji, Chattamai Mataji, Lola Mataji, and my dear brother Krishna Murari, who's right here. Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot like that. But and who else? Oops, I accidentally unplugged my monitor when I did that. Yes, Chattamai Mataji, Lola Mataji, and else is there? I'm just going from memory right now. Ganga Mataji and Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, and who else? One second. There it is. Here. Remember?
Here. Why don't you do it? I'm sorry.
Oh, 1 second. You accidentally unmuted yourself. And Vidya Lala Sadiri, Ganga Mataji, Abhay, and could you let me know what your name is? Pintorned. That's what I see on YouTube. Anyways, pranams everybody, and also the devotees watching in the future, like who else? Shachi Devi, Jai Dev Prabhu, who else? Sorry, my mind's going blank all of a sudden. Ananda Pradayani and Krishna Rose and everybody else. Dandavat pranams.
Oh, sorry, I opened the mic because my attorney asked me to tell you that Saraswati knows you well. Please send Dandas pranams to you. And thank you. He was listening to the class with us.
Okay, thank you. Dandavat pranam. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Haribol.
Haribol. Hare Krishna. Oh, Dandavat pranam. Haribol. So now our program is finished for now. But yeah, I'm just going to sing the Dhammadarashtakam because I know some people like to do the Dhammadarashtakam in that program. Oh wait, and let's look at the Keshavashtakam. Let's just go through one verse in honor of Gopāṣṭamī. So just opening up this. There. Let's see the second verse of Keshavashtakam that goes through all the cows. But yeah, this is a perfect song to sing today on Gopāṣṭamī. I'll just type in Keshavashtakam. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's sing this. Pishangi manikastani pranata shringi pinge kshane mridanga mukhi dhumale shabali hamshi vangshi priye iti swasurabi kulam taralamavayantam muda vraje vijayinam bhaje vipina deshatat keshavam. So the translation is Pishangi, Manikastani, Pranatashringi, Pingekshane, Mridangamukhi, Dhumale, Shabali, Hangshi, Vangshi Priye. Moving to and fro, he cheerfully calls out to his Surabi cows. I worship that Keshav as he returns from the forest lands of Braj. And I think I remember when we were reading Radha-Krishna Ganadashtapika by Rupa Goswami, I think these are also not just the names of cows, but the names of groups of cows. If I remember correctly. Pishangi, I think, oh God, what are the meanings of these? Manikastani, so stani is the udders of a cow, so who has jewel-like udders. Pranata Shringi, Shringi is the horns, so pranata means bowing down, so that means horns are going down. And Pingekshane means, I think pinga means yellow and ikshana means eyes, right? So yellow eyes, I guess. And then mridanga mukhi, I think you can understand that one. Mridanga mukhi has a head shaped like a mridanga. Then dhumala is like a dark gray color. Looks like yeah. And then shabali, I don't know what shabali means. Hangsi, swan-like. Vangshi Priye, who is very dear to the flute. Maybe this cow especially likes the flute, the Vangshi. Anyways, these are names of Krishna's Surabi cows or groups of Surabi cows. There's lots of interesting information about the cows in Radha Krishna Ganadashtapika, but we are way over time. We're 22 minutes over time, so stop there. And let's just look at Jaya Nila Premadana, because Narottam Das Thakur wrote this song about Śrīnivāsācārya. Śrīnivāsācārya left before Narottam Das Thakur. And so Narottam Das Thakur, and he was such one of the most dear associates of Narottam Das Thakur, one of his most dear companions. And so he wrote these songs. Jaya Nilo Prema Dhana Karuna Prachur Eno Prabhu Kotha Gela Ācārya Thakur. He who brought the treasure of prema out of his great compassion, where has such a venerable personality as Śrī Śrīnivāsācārya gone? I'm going to skip the middle verses. I shall dash my head upon a stone or enter into fire. Oh, where shall I go to find Gauranga, the treasure house of all divine qualities? Sheshava Shangira Shange Je Koilo Vilas Se Sangana Paya Kande Narottama Das. I actually, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Goswami, he translated this last verse, like he explained it. I went in a darshan with him, and he said that Sheshab Sangir Sange Je Koilo Vilas. That means that person who performed pastimes, Koilo Vilas, Shange with, in the company of the Sangir. Sangir are those associates of Mahaprabhu. So unable to attain the association of that Śrīnivāsācārya who performs pastimes with the associates of Mahaprabhu, Narottam Das weeps. And then there's this other song, Gaurāṅgir Sahachar, and by Śrīla Narottam Das Ṭhākura also. And among the associates of Sri Gauranga are the devotees headed by Srivas Thakur, as well as Gadādhara Pandit, Narahari Sarkar, Mukunda Datta, and Murari Gupta. Also with the Lord are Sarup Damodar, Ramananda Rai, and Haridas Thakur, who are the roots of prema, as well as Damodar Pandit and Paramananda Puri. And then there is, there's a verse in here, but yeah, here. He says, Śrī Ācārya Śrīnivāsa Achino Jahara Pash Katha Shuni Judaito Pran Teho More Chari Gela Ramachandra Na Aila Dukhe Jiyo Kore Anachana Dukhe Jiyo Kore Anachana. So that means I stayed by Śrīnivāsācārya's side, and hearing his katha soothed my heart. He has left me, and Ramachandra has not come. In sorrow, my life feels restless and distressed. To whom can I express the pain in my heart? This wretched life is hopeless. Everything I eat and drink feels like poison. Yet I do not die. Fie on this Narottam Das. So that was the extreme separation that Śrīla Narottam Das Ṭhākura felt from Śrīnivāsācārya. And these songs are in the new Gaudiya Giti Puja, which will be available soon. Oh yeah, and so we're just going to sing Damodara Ashtakam, and then we'll, 1 second. One of the devotees joining the program, I'm not sure if she wants me to mention her name, but she says that she does arti in our program when we sing Damodara Ashtakam every morning. So that's why I was feeling I should sing it, even though it's so. Wait, where is it? Lasat. Oops. Okay. Namamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyo Lukha Ladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopya Rudanta Muhurnetra Yugmamrijantam Karam Bhoja Yugmena Satankanetra Muhushvasakampa Tirekhanka Kantha Stita Graivadamo Daram Bhakti Bhaktam Iti Drik Swalilabhir Ananda Kunde Swaghosam Nimajjantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshita Gesho Bhaktarjitatvam Puna Prematastam Shatavritti Vande Varam Deva Moksham Namokshavadim Va Nachanya Vrineham Varesharapiha Idam Teva Purnata Gopalabalam Sada me manasya virastam kimanya Idam te mukham bhojam avyakta nilai Vritam kuntalai snedaraktashcha gopya Muhushchum vittam bimba rakta dharane Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai Namo deva damo Dharananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalabdi Magna Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinam Patano Grihane Shamam Agyam Edakshi Drishyai Kuveratmajo Baddha Murtaiva Yadvat tvaya mochito bhakti bhajo krito cha tatha prema bhaktin swakame prayacha na mokshe graho mesti damodareha. Namaste studamne sfuradipti dhamne twadiyodharayata vishvasya dhamne namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai namo nantalilai devaya tu namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai namo nantalilai devaya tu Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Jai Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ju Ki Jai. Wow, everybody stayed. All right, Dandavat Pranams. See you all tomorrow to read the last chapter, the last verse of Damodarashtakam and the commentaries of Śrīla Sanatana Goswami and my Śrīla Gurudev. Right? I think there's no thing tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow is, oh, it's also, no, I'm looking at the wrong day. Whoops. Yeah, tomorrow, 2 days, there's nothing. And then in 3 days from now, will be Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj's disappearance day, the appearance day of Srila Bhaktivedānta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and the first day of Bhishma Panchak. All right. So see you all tomorrow. Haribol. And that song, Keshav Ashtakam, is a perfect song to sing today. It's all about Krishna coming back from the pastures with all the calves, and it goes through all the different rasas of this pastime. I really love the verse on Sakya Ras also. Anyways, you can check it out. All right, Haribol. See you tomorrow. Jai Shri Radha. Just looking one last time at the comments. Okay, Haribol. Oh, and this is Rohini Nandan. Okay, Dandavat Pranams, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, and if Rupa Raghunath Prabhu is there. Haribol. All right, see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radha. Okay.